শুরু করছি ফ্র্যাঙ্কলি স্পিকিং উইথ হুদা টক শো। আমাদের মাঝে আজকের গেস্ট উপস্থিত রয়েছেন অ্যাটর্নি সাব্বির আহমেদ। আসসালামু আলাইকুম। আমাদের 86th প্রেসিডেন্সিয়াল নির্বাচন আর মাত্র 40 দিনের কম।
2020. 86%. Oh, 2020.
Sorry, 2020. মানে 86th
Oh,
presidential.
I didn't know that.
86th presidential election.
Only
3rd November.
Few days away.
It's like 38 days.
Yeah.
Only.
That's what's amazing, you know. I mean, I don't know if I can jump into it. I mean, English is easier to express.
Either way you
So,
can.
that's what's really amazing. The last time Obama nominated a Supreme Court justice, it was like 270 days left for his term.
Yes.
But the Senate didn't even give him a chance to vote on the floor. They didn't even accept his nomination, didn't give a vote on the floor.
So it's
And
politics.
now it's only like 40 days left. And they're pushing through Trump's nomination. And that's the number one goal for Republicans. It's not even the presidency. It's to stack the Supreme Court with as many conservative justices as possible.
That's all I
That will change the game. It's already changed the game. So that's the bigger picture for them.
That's the Biden asked wait for the after the election.
Yeah, they should. I mean, people should vote for the president, and the new president should nominate the Supreme Court justice. That's sensible, right?
But as a president, Trump has a right to do that, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the Senate is supposed to represent the people. And they should not be pressured into doing something that's so undemocratic.
Okay, how about that Trump select person and give it to Senate for approval, and Senate doesn't approve it?
Senate already has enough votes to get it through. They've already declared it. They know who is going to be the nominee. This lady judge, they're going to declare it on Saturday, but they have enough votes. They're not going to, the Democrats are not going to be able to stop it.
They couldn't do it.
They're not going to be able to do it.
Majority there?
Yeah, because they need 4 Republican senators, and they thought they had 2. Even one of them has backed out, so they're just failing to do it.
What do you think, as an attorney, what do you think this election is going to be?
Well, I think this is one of the most crucial elections that we've faced as a nation. I mean, I've been here nearly 40 years. I've seen many presidents, but I have not seen somebody as, I have to say, despicable human being as this person. He has made the lives of so many working class people, migrants, everybody so much more difficult with all his policies. And he's outright racist, xenophobic, Islamophobic, anti-Semitic. He's just all of it, all put together. And
If he's anti-Semitic, then why he
anti-Semitic and anti-Zionist is not the same thing. His followers,
Arabic is
his
anti-Semitic.
followers do not like Jews, just like the Nazis didn't like the Jews. The white supremacists don't like the Jews, and he's the main backers of the white supremacists. Being anti-Semitic and anti-Zionist is not the same thing. I love Jew people. I have so many of friends, and they're the most kind-hearted, liberal people I've known. But that doesn't mean that I support the Zionist Israeli policies. What they're doing in Palestine, they've robbed the people of their homeland. They've made them second-class citizens. It's just not right.
So,
everybody has the right to have their own
So,
homeland.
are you saying all these things because you are a Democrat?
No, I felt this since even before coming to this country. As a child, I felt the Palestinians were being deprived of their due rights to have their own homeland. And they've been treated as a second-class citizen in their own birthplace. That's just not right. I mean, and they've been able to do it because of the military power that is bestowed by the United States on Israel. Otherwise, Israel couldn't do all these things.
So what's going to happen that if he wins, and in this country's immigration systems?
Well, there's going to be so many changes because number one, Trump does not believe in this birthright policies whereby citizens apply for their parents, for their spouses, for their children, and they come over. Even for their siblings, that wait is long, but they eventually do come over. He wants to abolish that. He wants to make the immigration to the United States based on merit. Your educational background, your financial background, all those criteria will determine whether you can come to the United States, just like Canada, just like Australia. But just because you're born here, you're not going to be able to bring your family over here. That's one thing.
Used to be.
Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, even that's a major thing, but there's so many smaller things that is affecting. Like I have clients who've been approved their work permits, but they're not getting it. Over 100,000 of these people have their approval for their work permits, but they're not getting their work permits. And that is making their life so much more difficult. It's harder to get a job, harder to keep a job, because they don't have, employers want to see the actual card.
And this country is an immigrant country.
Absolutely. It's the only indigenous people are the Native Americans. I have a t-shirt that says Homeland Security since 1847. It's got 5 or 6 Native Indians on there. This is the original their land. Everyone else,
they can claim.
Yeah, everyone else, we've come here and taken over their land. And especially you think about California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. This all belonged to Mexico. They fought, won a war, and they took it over. Just imagine the size of Mexico if it included all these states. It would be easily the most overwhelming nation in the world. And now they're treated as third-class citizens. They're illegal aliens. And it just can't make sense. I mean, if you go over on one side of the border, over San Diego, people don't have 2 meals a day. You cross the border, people have to go to health clubs and join diets to stay fit. You're not being able to control migration through borders, through walls, to patrol agents. That's not going to happen, because it's the power of hunger is going to drive people from the other side to this side.
You need a balance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when the white people invaded the world, they thought whatever they captured is theirs. And now that they come here, they don't want anybody else to come and share their bounty. That's just not right.
So what do you think about that Black Lives Movement in USA?
I mean, it's horrible about the police brutality going on in the name of security and law and order. It's just how many black people are...
It's a kind of expression of racism.
It's like what happened in South Africa before it became free. It's just brutal violence inflicted on black people, brown people, by the police. And it's just uncalled for. And they don't get any justice. Even yesterday, they said that Breonna Taylor, the police officers are not going to be charged. Only one person was charged, and that was for doing harm to another person, not even Breonna Taylor. So, I mean, time and time again, this is the verdict of the white justice system. The black people, the brown people will not get their justice. I never came to this country like that. It was never like this. I mean, it was somewhat, but it's built up so much in the last few years that
somebody give them to express it. That's
and you know, and all these cases eventually would go to the Supreme Court. And there was a balance before. It came down to 5-4 until Ruth Bader was there, and now it's 6-2. So even if they get a liberal justice, it'll back to 6-3.
Well, he's saying that this country wants to do Democrat, wants to do a socialist country.
I don't know what socialist means. If that means everybody should get medical care, if everybody should get free education, then call me a socialist. I mean, I think it's the right of people, especially
in Europe,
especially in a land so rich and prosperous as the United States. Why shouldn't everybody get free medical care? Why could they get it in Canada, even in Europe, but not here? I mean, this country has more billionaires than anywhere else.
Okay, tell me one thing. Why should or should not give a vote to Trump?
Because Trump is bringing out the worst characteristics of everybody. He wants everybody to fight against each other, divide them up, and him and his family and his friends get ahead more and more. He only thinks of himself, doesn't think about the benefit of the country, of other people. It's just for himself. And he has always showed this. I mean, he inherited his wealth, and then how many companies did he declare bankruptcy? He's not even a good businessman, but he shows himself as one of the richest people in the world. That's
some
bogus.
of our community people says that what he said he does, so he's good for America.
What he said he does. They've always said they're going to have a replacement for Obamacare. They haven't come up with one for 4 years. They say so many things, but they never deliver. What has he said that he's done? He's brought business back to the United States. Where? Where has the industries come back?
He says that employment, he brings a lot of unemployment to employment.
Yeah, the unemployment is down, historically down, but this is all a cycle of the economy. There's a boom and bust, and he's riding the wave of boom. So I don't think
so he's getting benefit from Obama?
From Obama and the ones previously. It's just American economy goes on a cycle. It's boom and bust. And this is the boom period. And even then, now he's not going to be able to handle it because of the effect of the pandemic. See what happens in 6 months, 1 year down the line. See what happens to the employment figures. It's not going to be as rosy as this, for sure. And he hasn't delivered on so many things. He hasn't. Where is the wall? He keeps talking about the wall. Mexico is going to pay for the wall. Mexico will never pay for the wall. What is a wall? I told you, you cannot keep people out by building a wall. It's impossible. It's impossible.
So, next 4 years, what promising he's doing it that American people are giving him a vote? What he's saying?
I think he has a core base supporters who are afraid of losing their position in society. You know,
he's saying that white is
white people, especially not so educated white people, hardworking, poor white people, feel threatened at the emergence of other races, other classes into their communities. They think they're going to lose their jobs, they think they're going to lose their position, and they've supported Trump because they believe he's the last person to give them what they are entitled to. But nobody's entitled to anything.
Is it also a religious matter?
Well, he shows himself as a religious person. I don't know how religious he is. If you look at his background, see how many scandals he's been involved with women.
And holding a Bible
so many
down.
despicable things. I don't think he's very religious or very saintly, but he obviously rides
extremist.
Yeah, he rides that position, trying to get the evangelical vote, the Christian right vote, and he's been able to do it. And I think that core support is still going to be there. But the other people that supported him, the white educated class, are now pretty upset with him because of the way he's handled the pandemic.
The Hispanic people, they also have immigration problem, right?
Absolutely.
But they are also supporting him on the base of religious matter, that he talks about religion, and then so I talked with somebody who says that about the gay marriage, the support of Democrat, so we don't like it, abortion, we don't like it. So on that factor, they got support from some Hispanic people.
Yeah, Spanish people are mostly Christian, Catholic.
Yeah.
So I think they, along with other people, feel threatened by the emergence of other minorities, especially Islamic people and other type of minorities who they haven't seen before in so much prominence. And they feel threatened. You feel scared of people you don't know. You always feel scared of the unknown. And that's why as people get to know them more and more, they'll see that they're human beings just like the rest of them. There's nothing to be scared of. I mean, you can go out and meet a Muslim person anywhere in the United States. You see they're just as human as everybody else. But they're trying to cash in on the fear of the unknown, and they feel, okay, the Muslims are going to change it, being Sharia law and all this really bogus stuff.
That's bogus.
It's just bogus stuff. I mean, he's actually won his popularity. He started off by challenging the citizenship of Obama.
Yeah.
Birth movement, and that's incredible.
Now
He was born here,
Kamala.
Kamala, but her mother is Indian. Her dad is Jamaican, but she was born in Oakland.
But she says that they cannot because they both are immigrants. So it's kind of he bringing up.
That's another thing. He doesn't want to. It's a universal law in America that if you're born here, you're a U.S. citizen by birth, and he wants to take that away also because your parents were immigrants. You don't belong. You're not a U.S. citizen. See how incredible his thinking is. It's amazing. How
Okay,
you
so
could get so far.
if Biden wins, then what will be benefit for the people?
Well, he will ensure free medical care for everybody. He will ensure that you get K through 12 funding for everybody. Even college education will be subsidized by the government. And he will ensure that there is racial balance in the country. There's no racial discrimination or police brutality. And he will make sure that everybody has a voice in this country, and he will ensure the immigration system that has been in this country forever still keeps going. I mean, he won't bring this huge imbalance in
So
the immigration
immigrants
system.
brings the, I mean, the diversity makes the great America great.
Absolutely. It's a country of immigrants. Everybody's an immigrant. Everything has been built by immigrants. So nobody
And they
can
come here, they're working and build America.
That's what the great attraction is for America. That's why everybody wants to come to America, because it's a land of opportunity. You work hard, you'll get your reward. And it's a land of freedom and land of democracy.
It's speech.
Yeah, you don't get all of that anywhere else. Sometimes in Europe you get it, in Canada you get it, but in most of the world you don't get all of this. I mean, we come from Bangladesh. You think about our system, what we were used to back home. Even now, if you go back home and you say anything against the Prime Minister, you could be thrown into jail. The RAB will pick you up, send you to remand, and then throw you in jail because you made a comment against the Prime Minister. That's what we think is normal, but that is not normal. This is normal. This was normal until this guy came into power. We have to ensure that that stays what it was forever, that this is the land which attracts everybody to come, because it ensures such rights and such freedoms, and that cannot be taken away. And I think it's essential that we make sure that in this election, this man does not come back into power.
What you think that he's not going to win?
You know, the first night of his first election, I was debating with my wife all night. She said, "Look what's happened. You said this wouldn't happen." I said, "No, wait another hour, another 2 hours. It's all going to go away. It's all going to be corrected." But it didn't. It didn't. And for the few days afterward, I was in a state of denial. I couldn't believe that this really happened. And so as such, that brought me into a realistic idea of what can be done. I mean, this is the only country where the people vote one way and the result is somebody else. You know, the same thing happened with Bush in Gore.
System.
More people voted for Hillary than Trump. At least 2-3 million people more. But he ends up being the president. This is the Electoral College, which is fundamentally undemocratic. This should be changed, and one man, one vote should be the problem.
How can be changed, or who can be changed this system?
Well, it has to come from a constitutional amendment. 2/3 of the Congress has to vote for it, and not only that, every single state has to vote 2/3 also to change it. So that's a very, very difficult, monumental task. But as such, I don't think it's going to happen so soon.
No.
But down the line, it will, because look at the demographics. The whites are soon becoming a minority. That is the reality of the United States. The brown and black people are soon going to overtake them as demographic, and that is going to eventually bring about.
That we don't want to be over another one. It's just equality, justice.
One person, one vote. That's the way it is in the whole world, and that should be here also. If I vote for one person, that should be the head of the state if most of the people vote with me. If most of the people vote against it, then they should not be. That should be just clear and sensible logic.
Are you believe in defunding the police?
Not to the full extent. I mean, the police ensures our rights and our safety. That's very much needed. You know, in a country, I mean, this is a great country, but it has its problems. You know, there's violence, there's looting, there's rioting, and there's all kind of criminal activities that have to be in control, and law and order has to be maintained. But to let the police get away with all this brutality, what they're inflicting on the people, that should certainly be restrained. And whatever mechanism we can find to do that, we should pursue that. I don't believe that there should be no police. They have a role there, but I don't think they should be left to do what they're doing right now.
Well, coming up election, you have anything to say to the community that what they should do for this election?
Well, number one, they should vote. I mean, there's a census, I think, that's finishing end of this week.
A month.
Yeah, with the September 30th.
Yeah.
So they must put there in the census. If they count, then their vote counts, then funding for their school district, a lot of things happen according to the census. And after that, they should all go out and vote. It's a democratic country. Everybody has a choice, but they should make a calculated and honest vote about the future of the country. What country they want their children to inherit. Do they want to be a racist, brutality, single white man's country, or do they want to be a multicultural society? I mean, this is what's at stake in this election. So they should have to measure their vote very, very calculatively, and as such, spread the word to the whole community to go out and vote.
I say that whoever you give a vote, but participate vote, because
Absolutely.
It helps the community.
It does, and this vote cannot be ignored by anybody. This is essential for everybody to go out and vote and to make their voices heard.
Thank you very much for
Thank you so
your
much.
Valuable
Thank you for
opinion.
giving me the privilege to talk here, and I appreciate it so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.